Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Where's that? Nope, it's not there. We're good. I thought I heard echo. There's no echo. Oh, my goodness. I was like, not again. It's the Positively Awesome Wrestling Show, and we're getting off to a little rocky start, but that's okay because we've been gone for 2 weeks. Not one, but two. Life gets in the way sometimes, and we need a break. That's what it is, but we're back. We're fresh, and we've brought a guest with us, so without further ado, we will introduce him first. Nick, how the heck have you been doing? What's up, bud?
I am fantastic, sir. Our friend has just been on an excursion to Japan, so I got a load of new Japan merch. So I'm in an exceptional mood, and it's always a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Absolutely. We always love to have Nick on the show with us because Nick is the man. Tidey is with us this week. Tidey, how the hell have you been? What is up with you, buddy?
I've been working too much, not playing enough. Man. That's what's been going on. But I did go to a great drag show last night, and man, I'm a little hungover right now. but I'm here for it. This ain't drink. This is just water. Don't worry about it.
He's rehydrating, folks. He's not getting more tipsy.
You have
professional. And last but certainly not least, we have Albert. Albert, how the heck have you been doing, sir? And what is up with you?
Doing all right, man. Hanging in there, starting a new position tomorrow. So, just trying to get myself, getting all the excitement out of myself tonight. This way I can go in and nice and calm tomorrow.
Dang, I don't have my applause. I'd give you a round of applause. You're getting a new position. That's awesome. We moving on up. That's good news. That's awesome for you, man. That's good to hear.
Appreciate it.
Now that we've got the introductions out of the way, let's go with the pre-cap of what we're going to be doing tonight. We have Nick here because he is here to promote his new show this week, a show in which I will be a part of, a show of which the shipless captain will be a part of as well, as we do the rebooking in which he calls rematch of the century. I call it the rematch of just whatever. But whatever it is, it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And that is what we'll be going over first. After that, we will talk about we're going to be doing our top 5 list. That's right. We started one on the last episode. We took a break. Brain fart. I'm back. Top 5 list. Our top 5 list this week will be the top 5 opponents for Jade Cargill. Not named Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair, since everybody wants to just say Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. We're going to give you a little something different because that's what I try to do, baby. And after that, we'll go over our favorite moments from the week because it was an insane week of wrestling, if I do say so myself. And I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me. And then we will finish it all off, the coup de grace, if you will. I think that's what that means. It will be us not necessarily predicting, but kind of maybe a little bit of prediction, a little bit of hope of what we think Survivor Series is going to be looking at. I've already lost it.
Looking like
what we think it's going to be looking like when we get there. Predictions and our hopes, that kind of thing. So,
Jimmy, coup de grace means Finn Balor's finisher.
So we're going to end it with Finn Balor's finisher on the Survivor Series hopes and dreams. That's what we are going to be going with right there. Bang, bang, gang. You know what it is, the original one. So without further ado, I'm going to say that a lot tonight because I like it. It's really good. Nick, let everybody know what the booking show is, where the booking show will be found, and when they can find it. And then I'm going to come in afterwards with a little bit of bam, punch power.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, the show is called Wrestling with Your Thoughts. This is an idea I've had spinning in my brain for quite a few years. We tried it in an old channel. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to because people stuck their fingers in. Now it is my show. It's called Wrestling with Your Thoughts. The concept is simple. It is 3 booking rounds. One round they get to choose themselves, and they book the same show. Another round is a WrestleMania of my choice, and they have to rebook the show. And then the final round is a Raw of my choice, where they have to co-book the show back to back. Kind of like a little bit of competition, so they can steal wrestlers from each other for one part of the show, so the other guy can't use the other. It has 2 titans of fantasy booking coming back for me in the captain and Jimmy. I have been looking forward to this show for ages. You can find it on Wednesday night on the Wrestling Legion podcast channel at 10:30 p.m. Hello, Amanda. 10:30 p.m. UK time, to be specific. This is going to be one hell of a show. It's going to be horrendous amounts of fun. It's going to be great for me. We're going to have 2 special guest judges to make sure everything is fair and not just down to my decision. They will be introduced on the night because I don't know who they are yet. which is makes it more the fun. Jimmy knows who his judge is. The captain knows who his judge is. I'll find out on the night. I don't need to know who they are.
Jimmy? I was going to announce mine tonight, actually, because they've been dying to know. So you're going to find out tonight.
Okay. But the show is going to be awesome. It's a horrendous amount of fun to watch. It's a horrendous amount of fun for me to host. It's great putting these guys' brains to the test and just seeing what they come up with. Fantasy booking is something we all do in our own time as wrestling fans. We all want stuff to go this way. So I just like to pick people's brains and see how they will book their way of doing things, as opposed to, and just so everybody knows, the shows that they will be rebooking this week are Super Bowl 99 from WCW, WrestleMania 14, because I'm a bastard.
And, I hated that one.
And Raw 1000. Because Raw 1000 was an absolute shambles. And I believe these lads can do better.
I know I can do better. I don't think the other guy can, but I know I can. That's for damn sure. Let the trash talking commence.
Jimmy, the floor is yours.
So, first things first, my judge, I'll go ahead. Captain's judge he's from the Crew Day, which is I guess part of the Raw Ball channel. I think it's kind of like a duo thing they got going on over there. I'm not 100% sure. You can go check it out for yourself. That's right. I'm plugging the competition because I'm a really nice guy like that. Raw Ball podcast. Go check them out. They do football, fantasy baseball, all other stuff. But they also have the Crew Day. And one of the members from the Crew Day will be the judge for Captain. I'm assuming those connections that he had over the years, he couldn't pull one of those in like he was expecting to or hoping to. So he got the Crew Day guy. Myself, I had someone in mind. Then they had to pull out. So I had to go find someone else. And when the original person pulled out, I was like, man, why didn't I think of this other guy first? He's the perfect candidate. He goes by the name of Mr. Devin Andrews on Twitter. He has 25 years experience in wrestling as a manager, a ring announcer, commentator, occasional wrestler. He's a lifelong fan, like most of us. And oh yeah, he has experience in booking as well. So he knows a thing or two, and I felt he was the perfect candidate to be a judge on a booking show. So he is the guy I will be bringing on, barring a veto that might come my way, because that was one of my things that I put out there that I wanted to be accepted in order to do this contest. So I don't think we'll have a problem, but if we do, I'll have to find someone else. I don't think we will. That will be my judge.
Fantastic.
With that said, though, I will like to point out that people have not been very friendly towards me about this whole thing. And I just kind of want to clear the air real quick on it. Real quick. I won't spend too much time, just real quick on it. I went onto their channel, and once again, I promoted their channel when I went on their channel because somebody wanted a rematch. They went about it the wrong way. They, being the nice man that I am, felt the need to extend my hand and make it all happen. I had 3 wishes, though. Not even wishes. Kind of demands. I wanted one for it to be on Nick's new show, because Nick is a fantastic man. We all love Nick, Raw Ball included. And what better way to help him kickstart his new show than by giving the rematch of whatever, or Century, whichever side of this thing you're looking at it from. We're doing that. Awesome. Check mark number 1. 2, I wanted veto power over judges because I had a feeling they might pick a judge that I was not going to be okay with, and I want to make sure that didn't happen. I'm not going to lie. I did not want that man being a judge. He knows who he is. I'm not going to even give him the time of day to say his name. 3, I said current day booking, meaning we book against the current day booking, because the guys on the other channel, well, the guy that I'm facing says that he can book better than current day booking, and I wanted him to prove it. That didn't happen. And I only found this out, 2 weeks ago, Nick? A week and a half ago. I didn't even find it out through them. I found it out through the wonderful man here below me. Thank you for that, Nick.
You're welcome.
So unless Captain is living in the year 1999 and he's in a completely different month than we are, January, February, whichever one it is, we're not doing current day booking. And I was told they would get back to me and let me know, and it didn't happen. And then I was told, book whatever you want. That's not what we're doing. That's why I chose Super Brawl 9, Super Brawl 1999, wherever we're going to call it. And yeah, and I had 2 weeks to do this. So we're here. I'm going to do it because I'm the man, and I'm going to prove it yet again. My only wish here, and I hope you're listening, Captain. I hope you don't take another 6-month vacation when I whoop that ass again. Please. You like to talk shit. I bring the shit to your doorstep, literally. And I will be doing it again this Wednesday. Wrestling with your thoughts over at Wrestle Legion. And that's what it is. Bim, bam, boom. I will whoop that ass. And that's that.
I have one request, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Please do not have El Americano Nightmare appear on this show.
Hold on a second. Now, I will bring that up too. Thank you for bringing that up, because that was one of his wishes, demands, and everything, that I'm not allowed to bring a child in a mask on the show. So with that said, I promise everybody, I will not bring a child in a mask on the show. With that said, I am a son of a bitch, and I love to troll. So that doesn't mean I don't have some tricks up my sleeve for this show.
That's
don't
fine.
want to miss it.
That's fine, as long as there is no kids, so I don't have to deal with chaos again.
Now, are you talking about literal kids or mental kids? Because mentally, I'm pretty much there.
Literal.
Okay.
I'm a man-child myself, Jim.
I didn't want to have to pull myself from the show.
No. I'm a man-child myself. It's absolutely fine. And I already told you, you're allowed to have as much fun as you like.
Thank you, sir. So that is what we will be doing. If you think I'm a funny person, tune in, because I got some tricks up my sleeve and I'm going to have some fun with it. And don't worry, I will still be promoting this all week. I've been doing a countdown on Cap's page, because I make this about the show, not about myself, because that's what we're here to do, lift everybody up. Everybody should be eating good, baby. And that's what I like to do. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, we can move on to the show. Top 5 list. Excited about this one. We had it planned out 2 weeks ago, and then shit happened and we had to pull the plug. Fortunately for us, Jade Cargill has not really debuted yet. We've seen her. We don't know what she's doing. We don't even know what show she's on. So we can still do our fantastic list. There we go. Keep having you know damn well that's what I'm going to do, Miles. Thank you for tuning in, though, buddy. Appreciate it. Got Courtney in. We got a full panel tonight. We rocking it. We having a party. It is time for Positively Awesome Wrestling's top 5, in which we will be doing the top 5 opponents for Jade Cargill, not named Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair, because as I've said, everybody says those two names, and I'm tired of hearing them. So we're gonna give you a little something different. With that, we're gonna start with the number 5. Number 5, Becky Lynch. And if you had to guess who picked this one, you're damn right. It was me, because I put Becky in every single list that there is. Anybody else here in agreement with me that they are excited to see a Jade Cargill Becky Lynch feud? Say aye.
Aye.
Thank goodness I'm not the only one here. Nick, since you're the guest here, I'm gonna allow you to go first. What intrigues you the most about a Becky Lynch Jade Cargill feud?
Becky's strongest feature is her character work. Like, there is no one in the women's division who understands who they are better than Becky Lynch. That's why I like Becky. Jade Cargill understands exactly who she is. Her ring work, time to time, is a little sketchy, but she's only had 60 matches in a professional career, so what do you expect? But Becky versus Jade is a tantalizing concept for the promos that leading up to it. Not only this, but Jade is a lot bigger than Becky physically. And Becky doesn't get tested physically very often. So it'd be a case of I don't want to say old wily veteran, because Becky's not old, but it'd be the wily veteran versus the athletic stud rookie. And that's always a good combination. Yeah. That's like Triple H versus Mick Foley. It just works.
What a great analogy. What a great comparison right there.
Thank you.
Albert, what about you? What entices you the most about a Becky Lynch and Jade Cargill feud?
Yeah, I think that Becky has this innate tool to bring out something different in every single person that she feuds with. You know, she went into that old Trish feud, and it was, originally it was about like, hey, let's bring, Trish and Lita back to their former glory. And it then turned into, hey, let's just prove that Trish wasn't just good because she was in this era where she was the only one. Trish could hang with us today, and she very well proved it throughout that entire feud. Becky has this ability to just pull the best out of her opponents. And I think that that's going to be the biggest thing that Jade Cargill needs right now. Is I think that Jade needs the best about her. And I mean, character work and in-ring work pulled out of her. And if there's going to be somebody to do it, it's Becky Lynch.
Ditto. And just to build on that, I don't think there's anybody, man, there's very few people in wrestling that I think are as good at bringing out the best in somebody as Becky Lynch. I think it's a very, very short list. And I'll make the argument that she is the best. It doesn't matter who she's feuding with. She can make it entertaining. She can bring them up to her level. She's not the in-ring worker that most are, but she makes up for it in literally every other aspect of her game. And that's why I love her so much. And I think that's going to be the best thing for Jade Cargill as far as introducing her to the audience. Like, we know she looks like $1 million. Is she $1 million? Becky Lynch will show you she's worth $1 million.
Realistically, what better way to launch somebody than having her debut and then win a title on her first night?
Yeah, NXT, baby. And Tidey, what about you entices you the most about a Becky Lynch Jade Cargill feud?
Well, I've told you many times, Becky Lynch, I think, is the best person I've seen build a match. It doesn't matter whether it was Piper, Liv, even her last match with Trish. I mean, building that up, and she's already building another match right now with and they did that just video packages with Lyra Valkyria. But you can't say you didn't watch that and was like, man, Lyra go. So when NXT camera cut and Lyra had to say something, I was engaged. But that's just the reveal package. But I got tired of some of the stuff, and like Becky always pulls me in, and I really want to see where this match is going. And again, everybody's turned out better. Piper Niven, a lot better. I wish she was booked more. But after that, man, damn, she looked good. But Becky literally is the best build. I think she will find a way, no matter what, to keep you engaged, whether it's shit talk, smack talk. I think when she was talking about Trish, my favorite thing was she's like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am obsessed with Trish. And that just flipped it just a little bit more to me. Like, damn it, now I'm way more interested in this because I can't wait to see what Becky says next. But that's why, because she cannot fail at building up a match.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys all hit the nail on the head as far as what I would have said. So we're just going to move along. Courtney said Charlotte versus Jade. And Amanda had to correct her. We can't name Charlotte. We can't name Bianca. That's the name of the game for today. That's okay, though. It's okay. We're moving on from it. Next up, and I know there's going to be some people that really don't like this one, and I don't care, because Becky is the litmus test as far as if you have it in you as far as a star. Or do you have it in you as far as your character work, your mic work? Do you have that ability to get over with the fans? That's what Becky's for. In-ring work, though? What's that?
Can you engage?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Are you worth us investing in you? Becky's going to get that out of you. In-ring work, and I don't care what anyone says, Natalya, 100% is the litmus test for anybody that comes in. She's the Miz, 100% for the women's division, because if you can't have a match with Natalya that is worth us watching, I'm sure you probably aren't going to make it very far. And I'll use Rhea Ripley as the perfect example, because up until when Rhea Ripley got called up to the main roster full time, she had the match with Charlotte at that one the WrestleMania 36 in the Performance Center, and it was really good. But then she went back, and then she came back, and then she wasn't clicking with the audience at all as far as the matches. They were not good. Then she got in there with Natalya. Natalya gave her a good match, and Rhea Ripley has been absolutely just phenomenal ever since. So I have Natalya at number 4. If you're in agreement with me, let me hear you say, oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
There we go. We're all in agreement again. That's what's up. Even Courtney's like, yeah, yes. So I'm going to let Tidey go first this time. Tidey, what is it about Natty that you think makes for an intriguing feud for Jade Cargill?
Well, it's more of just the first fight to have. I mean, Natty's more than safe. Natty trains every single wrestler. If you look it up, like she's training, what's her face from Hit Row?
BFAB.
Getting trained by Natty. They've already said that. I mean, if you watch any of the reality shows, Natty's training everybody up in there.
She trained Ronda freaking Rousey.
What's that?
She trained Ronda freaking Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any better opponent to fight, it's your coach. Like literally fight a coach, and she won't do any wrong with Natty. So I just think it's the safest bet to introduce. Would it be the most intriguing promo leading up to it? I don't know how they can make that work. They could, but I know it's going to be a good match, and it'll be a safe, clean match.
Nick, you're over there jumping at the bit to talk.
Well,
so go
I
ahead
think I know how they make it
it.
interesting. You have the veteran versus the rookie. That's what it'll boil down to with Natty versus Jade. But Natty is very, very good at playing the bitchy, sick and tired of everyone else taking her spot character.
That's true.
And what better person to have turn around and say, no, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a big deal signing. I don't care if they're paying you all the money in the world. Until you get past me, you're nothing. Natalya in ring is a phenomenal worker. People do not give her credit for what she can do. Yeah. Character-wise, she's a total waste of space. Natty's character,
get that kitty cat stuff out of here, Natalya. I don't want to see it.
The character is non-existent. The character is I'm Jim Neidhart's daughter. That's the character of Natalya. But in ring, she doesn't put a foot wrong. No. The Rhea match was the perfect example. She took Rhea from level 5 to level 9. Just in one match, because that's what Natty does. She's a star maker in the much way that Jericho spent most of his career as a star maker. Certain people are the stars, certain people make the stars, and Natty is a star maker. She has been for years, and she'll probably keep doing it till she retires.
Albert, do you have anything to add to that?
I mean, you guys mostly hit the nail on the head there. The one thing that AEW just didn't have for Jade Cargill was a Natty, somebody who is that experienced, had that much road traveled, that was that well-versed in television match wrestling, that, and that makes a big difference that, AEW just doesn't have that sort of a veteran because they're just not a company that's been around for that long. Natty is the perfect person to say, all right, Jade's coming in. We got to, we know she knows what she's doing, but she's going to be polished. Natty's the perfect person to do it.
I was going to say they have Serena D, but they don't really use it that well. And I can't
Serena is on hiatus because she had a massive argument with the bookers backstage.
Oh, no way. I don't know if she wrestled Jade Cargill, but I will say this. Jade Cargill's best match in AEW that sticks to my head is the last match she had. So that's very good news going into WWE. So she clearly learned something. And Bryan Danielson was training her. There's no better trainer than Bryan Danielson. Amanda here says she wants to see Shayna and Jade, the baddie versus the baddest. Hey, you know what? I'm with that one too. I think one of us even mentioned Shayna in that thing.
That was me. It's just my problem.
Hey, that's not a bad one.
I just don't want Shayna to have to lose right now. She's starting to get some momentum. Yeah. It's not time for her to lose right now, man.
Correct. There you go. That's exactly why she's not on the list, because she shouldn't be losing right now.
Well, she's facing Rhea Ripley tomorrow night, so she's gonna lose.
Different. Not that she don't have to lose that one. That could go a certain way and lead to something.
That could quite happily have a screwy finish involving Nia Jax, and that'd be fine.
With one fan, not fan favorite, to another fan favorite, probably a much more not fan favorite. We're gonna go over to Nia Jax. Oh yeah, baby, because I want to see Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax. Kiss my butt if you disagree, because when I see Jade Cargill lift her up and slam her, that is going to be awesome. So it's a moment that we're going to look at and be like, Jade's the real deal here.
Andre Hogan.
There you go. Anybody here disagree with that one? Nobody disagreeing with this list. I love it. Albert, I'm going to let you go ahead first on this one. What intrigues you the most?
Jade's going to be coming and built like a star. And the only way to book Jade the right way is really, she's got to be brought in as a heel. And I think that when Jade eventually squares up with somebody like Nia, I'm thinking like Royal Rumble, we get a little bit of a tease. And then eventually, once Jade kind of turns the corner, maybe she's on the same brand as Nia. Once she turns the corner and she gets into that phase where she's so over the fans can't deny her anymore, and they start cheering her, which I'm sure will come pretty soon because Jade's a megastar. Nia is the perfect person to go after her. I mean, just she's a monster in every sense, and she's always been booked that way, and it works perfectly. Like you said, Jimmy. I mean, it's this almost like David versus Goliath kind of a story, and Jade isn't used to not being Goliath in that story, so it's so intriguing to have her face Nia Jax.
I think we saw a little bit of it with, man, name's escaping me right now. Nyla Rose, who I know a lot of people don't like. I like Nyla Rose, and I think we saw a little bit of that over in AEW with Jade and Nyla, and that was one of the better matches I think that Jade had over there. So to see it with Nia Jax again, and people really hate Nia Jax, so this is a great way to kind of make people really like Jade even more. And I think it's a great pairing. So
this run is making Nia a little bit more favorable. I wouldn't have thought that was going to happen, but she hasn't hurt anybody yet, so everybody's kind of like, oh okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure everybody has hurt somebody at some point. People need to get over that nonsense. Seth freaking Rollins, if you I think he has just as bad a track record as Nia does. So
Cena's nose, Sting's neck.
And the reason Sting couldn't wrestle in WWE anymore was because of Seth freaking Rollins. And Finn Balor's Universal title reign was less than 24 hours because of Seth freaking Rollins. So get off Nia Jax's back if that's all you got to say bad about her. Get off that back. Just to speed things up a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and jump into number 2. I'll let Tidey hit number 2. I'll let Nick take number 1, and then we'll move on to the next subject, because this right here I think was Tidey's number 1 pick for a feud. And I ain't even against it either. I think it would be awesome, and it would be good for her. Bayley, baby. Tidey? Well, first off, everybody, who here wants to see Bayley and Jade Cargill?
Always.
Okay. This is 4 for 4 so far. We're going for the clean sweep next. But, Tidey, why do we want to see Jade Cargill versus Bayley? Get off her hole.
Bayley, I haven't seen Bayley really go on a one-on-one with somebody since she's been with Damage Control. But when she is on a one-on-one tangent and building a promo, I miss the Bayley with that evil laughter with Bianca Belair. That image will stay burned into my brain. And Bayley was nothing but on the greatest trajectory ever during the Thunderdome. She needs a WrestleMania moment. She really does. And then I think about just the basic tweets. There was tweets going between them. And then Jade was like, I heard you were the one to watch out for, kind of thing. And she's like, let me welcome you as the veteran to our show. She was tweeting that nonsense, which is hilarious because she does really good tweeting jobs. But I would like it to be Bayley because it's directly correlated to the title, which is Io, which is also directly correlated with people that won't stop, that we also want her to fight as Asuka. As Charlotte. There are people, there's an easy segue, and I really believe Bayley can always take a loss if she's in Damage Control until we all start getting back on the Bayley Kool-Aid. And that's why I think she's perfect, because until this happens with the division with Damage Control, if that is to happen, they've been doing it for so long, it's driving me crazy, but I still like it. Whatever. Anytime I see Bayley, I'm happy. I don't care. So I think in the long run, Bayley can take a loss better than anyone we've named so far and really not even get a dent because she's just the damage girl right now. But
and it's
hopefully got to
impactful
make her switch and get her story going because you know what, man? I want Bayley at a WrestleMania moment. Even if they turn into a babyface, doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's
possible to switch back to that, but I would love to see her just go evil and she be the one that turns on everyone.
If there's anybody in WWE, hands down, Bayley is the one that is the most deserving of a moment at WrestleMania at this point because she just had terrible luck, terrible timing with her injuries and everything. Wow. So I would love to see it. I will also point out that Bayley being Jade's first feud is actually a great natural progression to get to Jade Cargill over Charlotte Flair, which is the one that everything wants, because you could have Jade feud with Bayley, beats Bayley, moves on to Io Sky, takes the title from Io Sky, and then WrestleMania comes around. We get Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair for a title. I know we don't like Charlotte Flair wrestling for the title all the time, but if it's against Jade Cargill and it's a new opponent and it's a very, very special kind of match, I don't think people are going to really have that much of an issue with it. So that's why Bailey's a great nod, and I hope you know how great of a job you did there, Tidey, with picking that one, because that's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
And now we will move to the number one name on this list. And I don't think anybody would be that surprised by it at this point. Now that we're here, it is Rhea freaking Ripley. Oh, I almost put the wrong picture up. That would have been funny. Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill, to me, is just as much money as Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. Why people haven't been saying it as much, I don't know. It's kind of wild to me, but I personally think it is. And just so everyone knows, this is the picture I almost put up. It's my favorite picture of all time. Favorite picture of all time. So, hello, what is up? Thank you for joining, bud.
Jimmy, real quick. Yeah, I know we were going to throw this to Nick. I just wanted to throw this out. This was before Charlotte. It was Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Those are the first two names that came to my mind when Jade was going to come over. Yeah. Even before Charlotte. Everybody seems to have just said Charlotte, but Rhea was right there for me. I mean, that's just the way that match looks on a billboard. I mean, just looks like a main event of something, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I will go ahead and admit, like, I wasn't on board with this Jade. I didn't understand the big hype behind it because I know everyone really likes Charlotte and all that. But after seeing the face-off, I was kind of like, I kind of get it now. I get it. That was kind of a cool moment. So, Nick, the pleasure is all yours, sir. You get. Oh, wait, nope. Let's see if we get the clean sweep. Everyone here agrees that Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill will be amazing. Correct? 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom. We did the clean sweep 5 for 5. Everybody agrees. That means everybody on Twitter should agree as well. And we've done our job wonderfully. Now, Nick, what about Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill? Makes it just absolutely stupendous.
Rhea Ripley is the alpha female of WWE. They can call Charlotte the alpha female all they like. It's not. It's Rhea. She is a modern day version of Luna Vachon, but with a better voice.
And way more dominant.
But Luna was never booked, right? Because it was the 80s. But basically, this match is Luna Vachon versus Miss Jackie from 1998. This match is 2 girls that are big, beefy powerhouses that can absolutely slap the snot out of each other, and it will look convincing. Rhea is also...
Jackie. That's awesome, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Rhea is... There she is. Rhea is also very, very good at having the snot beaten out of her. And it takes a lot... Not a lot of women are great at selling in professional wrestling. It's my one flaw with women's professional wrestling is they're not all great at selling. Rhea is from the Shawn Michaels school of selling. Right? It's amazing. She looks like she is getting destroyed.
Only Dolph Ziggler sells the DDT better than Rhea Ripley.
Agreed.
Arguably
agreed.
So true.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed.
Well, Rhea can sell a hell of a DDT. Sorry.
Rhea, it's true. He does it like Bobby Roode. Rhea is perfect for Jade because Rhea is the opposite of Jade and the same. They're the same character, but just tweaked differently.
Yeah.
It's the megastar powerhouse. That's what they both are. They're athletic specimens. Rhea has become probably the most over thing in the company to the point that they release a new T-shirt for Rhea Ripley every single week. Now that's just ridiculous. Like it's Monday Night Mommy now is the newest T-shirt that Dominic was wearing the other day. Rhea is the biggest star in WWE right now in the women's division. There is nobody bigger than her. Who better to set the stage for somebody who is supposed to be as big a star than Rhea Ripley? That match writes itself. You don't even need much of a storyline. It's just Jade wants a title. Rhea says, screw you. Boom. That's all you need. Just let them have a pull-apart brawl one night on Raw. Everything's off to the races. It's going to be a phenomenal match. Rhea is the perfect opponent, more so than Charlotte Flair, more so than Bianca Belair, because of Rhea's personality. Bianca is Super Cena. Charlotte is Rick. They do the same thing all the time. Rhea has nuances to her character. She has levels to what she does. She can be really sweet and nice and then turn that into a sadistic psycho cow.
And it's all believable.
It's all believable.
All believable.
Everything she does is believable. Rhea also has the perfect look to go against Jade Cargill. Like, Charlotte kind of just looks like a white version of Jade. Really, 6 foot tall, 6-pack. They're both very similar. Rhea has the look where if you promote this match, people take one look at Rhea Ripley and one look at Jade Cargill, and you go, oh, they got something here.
Yeah,
it's a superhero fight.
Yeah. It literally is. It's two modern day superheroes.
You have I guess the look that WWE kind of likes.
Yeah.
Or that we all think is like the prototype look with Jade Cargill. She just looks like $1 million. Then you have the complete opposite with Rhea Ripley. It's like yin and yang. They are perfect for each other. And I was blown away by the amount of people who weren't bringing up Rhea Ripley's name during this whole thing. And it's crazy to me. But of all the names, even Charlotte and Bianca, Rhea's the one I'm the most excited for.
Yeah, same 100%.
Here.
Rhea is the man in more ways than one.
But it's not just the aesthetic of both of them. I mean, like we've said it before, Rhea Ripley, when you look at her, I wish they would, put her on Wheaties commercials. I don't care. Do anything. Put her on a Hot Topic billboard. That girl is money. She looks like money. She is money. And that's just her look alone. That's simple, right? But she's also Judgment Day. She's with the hottest heel there is. She's with Dom. And she's still getting cheered. You look at Jade Cargill, the way they presented her, rolling the red carpet out with just, here, welcome to NXT. Yeah. Shawn Michaels shaking the hand. Triple H shaking the hand. She looks like a superstar. Like she just came right out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we were going to do like, I don't know, a wrestling movie. And this is the girl from the wrestling movie. She decided to join WWE because we knew she looked like it. You can say the same thing about Rhea. I mean, she is the emo look / oh my God, dude, perfect look for a superstar. And you're right. I think Charlotte Flair is brilliant. I love her outfits. I love her gowns. I love what Zelina does. I love their fashion, etc. But when you look at Jade and Rhea, it only takes one glance.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
So look at that. We all agreed there. That's awesome. We're all in unison. We all had some nice things to say. There we go. That was our top 5 list from the Positively Awesome Wrestling top 5 list of the week. Tune in next week. We will have a new one for you. And when I find out what it is, y'all will be the first to know over on the Twitter page. That's right. I so call it Twitter because that don't kick it.
Stupid name.
That is does it make sense?
Dumb name.
It makes sense, wrestling.
It's poopy. It's absolutely poopy. So from there, we will now move on to our best of the week. That's where we go over our favorite moments from the week in wrestling that was. And boy, oh boy, was it a task this week because every single show delivered. I didn't watch Collision this week, but from what I read and everything I've heard, it delivered. The only show I watched it didn't deliver was Rampage, but that's fine. That's not really gonna do it most times. It very, very, very rarely does, but it was still serviceable enough for me. But as far as everything else goes, delivered. So with that said, who wants to go first?
I want to get my
show, gents.
Tidey said it first. He spoke up first. Tidey gets to go first. Tidey, what was your favorite moment from the week?
I'm about to turn into a Jimmy Uso right now because as a Sami Zayn fan, I'm almost ashamed of myself right now. God damn, I miss Roman Reigns.
Muted and booted.
Don't you do it. I have reasons, man. All right, so Paul Heyman is over there talking to Ava Raine and got a bloodline on his phone. I'm like, okay, you're going to try to give me an angle where maybe The Rock can come in. You're going to use her daughter, right? And then you got John Cena, who's been around, and John Cena is going to acknowledge him, Roman Reigns, when he gets there. It's just the interesting angles. And then in one show, you got all of a sudden, Roman's got contenders. I mean, we've dealt with bloodline bullshit for a while. It's all a family thing. There's Sammy. Is it going to be Jay? Is it going to be Solo? Is it going to be Jimmy? Who's going to dethrone Roman? And that's all we had to talk about. But in one show, we have LA Knight, KO, Jey Uso, Cody, all showing up on Roman's door, and they're all getting mentioned. And like, Roman's not happy about that. That is, I missed that intrigue of that 3 segment. You start off with Roman. It's something entertaining. Roman's in the back talking about something. It's something more entertaining. I'm finding out what's going on in Jimmy's head. I'm just trying to be a quarterback, man. That shit was ridiculous. But it did make sense. but it just makes Jimmy look a little airheaded, honestly. I thought I could just run plays and shit while you were gone. And like, all right, fine, you know what? I'll give it credit. I'll take it because somehow this is entertaining because you got KO who just showed up and then he's murmuring. He's like, and you got Jimmy sitting on this couch. And by the way,
drinking my water.
and then Jimmy's like choking on the water.
Bro, I just want to say the fact that Jimmy was like, he had his feet up on the couch and everything. He was like balled up, like, yo, I'm having a good old, that shit was classic. And that's why I say Jimmy is way better than Jay right now. Let's argue with the wall, everybody. Sorry, I had to get that in there. Tidey, continue. I apologize.
But yeah, it's not just about like the bloodline stuff, but I actually missed Roman because it brings a certain weight in a story that's just going around. I'm not saying I'm not invested in other stories that are going on right now, but nothing, probably because of work. I've been really busy. But when Roman came on, I kind of popped. I'm like, finally, sure. I'm going to get some main storyline going. And it doesn't have to be bloodline because now you just showed up with LA Knight. John Cena just acknowledged you as that's the greatest accomplishment of all time, 1,100 days. I was really just happy to see Roman. And he cooked John in his own way, and I fucking loved it. So now that we got LA Knight, KO's there, we know Cody's creeping with those tag titles. He has permission, and there's even Jay involved. And then he said the last thing that got me excited, and I know this is bullshit. It ain't going to happen, but I'm going to say it anyway. He said, stop saying yeet. That's what Roman said to Jimmy. And you stop that. Who started
I don't
the yeet
like
thing?
that.
Who started the yeet?
I don't like that.
Zayn did. So all together in one show, I was entertained to see about 5 contenders almost, or you know, Jay ain't gonna happen, or like 4 contenders. It made me even think the Sammy element. Anyways, Roman did all that in one show. I was just happy in general, man. That made my week.
And with that one show, it literally silenced. Everybody was like, the bloodline stuff is over with. No, they took a break, now revamped, and now you can all eat your words because it's dialed back up to 11 and it's awesome again.
People like losing their shit when Cody was
everybody.
Roman.
Patience is a virtue, people.
Roman's pissed off that KO's there because, God forbid, KO becomes the prize fighter again and tries to knock Roman's head off. I'm anticipating and happy to see if that happens. I mean, there's possibilities now. I'm happy.
Yeah. So cool, man. I got some theories about that one, and I hope we get to that Survivor Series things because I'm gonna intrigue you a little bit with it. From there, Albert, I'm gonna let you go next. What was your just in? Sami Zayn is absolutely disgusted with Tidey. Albert, I will let you go next.
No!
What was your moment of the week?
On a week where we got a stare down between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, we got an epic verbal clash between Adam Copeland and Ricky Starks. We got the return of the greatest tag team of the modern day era. Pretty Deadly came back on Friday, boys.
Yes, boys.
Yes, boys.
We were Elton Strong for months, guys, and it paid off. Pretty Deadly's back, and they scored up a big win over the Brawling Brutes, and they're on the trajectory to get themselves back up to that Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso title match. I love me some Pretty Deadly, man. They entertain me so much. There's just something about them. I don't know what it is. It brings me back to when I was a kid, and those mid-card acts just always like were the ones I gravitated to. Like everybody was talking about the main event, and I was just like, man, those small, fun characters that you can sink your teeth into. Man, that's what I'm always tuning into WWE for. And Pretty Deadly hits the nail on the head every week. I love them.
They're the modern day Beverly Brothers, but with talent.
You're the second person I've said heard compare them to the Beverly Brothers, so that's fair.
Someone actually recently said that Breezango walks so Pretty Deadly can run. I think I kind of like that.
My God,
that's great. Yeah, and you touched on it. Like they're a great mid-card act, and that's kind of what WWE has been missing for years. Yeah. We have a great opening, we have great main event stuff, but then the middle has kind of always been like hit or miss. A lot of myths.
I'm going to throw out another comparison. They're Edge and Christian from the Attitude Era to me right now. You know, in a sense of, you know, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, the Dudleys, those were, you know, the mid-card acts that everybody was starting to really, you know, sink their teeth into. And Edge and Christian were the funny guys that could get it done in the ring. And that's what Pretty Deadly kind of brings to the table.
They're my favorite tag team in WWE right now.
I love that. Yes, boy.
Favorite.
Man, Okay, well, I guess that's fair because Sami and KO aren't a tag team anymore. I was about to put up Sami Zayn was disgusted and Tidey again.
No, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll message you later, Mom. I'm upset about that in the first place. You know why Sami didn't get his story. Who's Cody? I don't even know what a Cody is. What's a Cody even made of?
We
Why
got
is he
the
taking
Cody
the tag
man
team
here.
and getting in
You're gonna
Roman's
upset the
face?
Cody fan. You're gonna upset
A lot
the
of
Cody
Stardust.
fan.
I like Cody. I won't finish the documentary because I refuse to love him. I can't. I know I love him as soon as I can. No, dude.
All right.
Cody's
So
cool.
with that, we will move over to Nick. Nick, what was your favorite moment of the week
I
in
have
wrestling?
two. I have two, but I'm going to just pick the one. Paul Heyman's hair. Paul
Why
Heyman,
not?
if no one has
I
noticed,
love it.
for the past several months, several weeks while Roman has been away, has been steadily going grey. He's been getting more and more stressed out. He's not been dyeing his hair. He's been completely falling apart. It's been disheveled. He's not been putting gel in it. It's just been sticking out at the sides. Roman comes back. And as soon as he comes back, it is neat. It is strapped. It is black. And Paul has found himself again.
And he is smiling. He's like
smiling. He's so happy that Roman is back. Paul Heyman is the best manager in professional wrestling of the last 20 years. He is the modern day Bobby the Brain Heenan. I will have no one argue against this fact.
Sure.
Or classy Freddie Blassie, depending on which level you're at. But I love Paul. I have loved Paul since 1996 when I first got introduced to him as Paulie Dangerously. The man makes Roman's act. Without Paul, Roman doesn't have an act. Roman is just a guy who says, acknowledge me, without Paul Heyman. I love Roman Reigns, but he's just a guy who says, acknowledge me, without Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is the glue that binds the bloodline storytelling together.
Real quick, yes or no? Do you think Roman Reigns' promos have improved significantly, though?
Oh, yes.
He's been with. Okay, I just want to make sure that was the case.
No. Roman is massively good, but Paul is the glue that holds the bloodline together.
I understand what you kick.
Yeah, because Roman could act maniacal and start losing his mind, even on SmackDown, and you got Paul in the background because it's going to be okay because Paul's right there. Exactly. So it doesn't look as crazy. Because imagine if Roman's doing that by himself. Like, who's going to tell him to stop?
Also, it's the looks on Paul's face.
I get it.
Yeah,
when Roman is going mental, Paul is in the background worried. He's always, oh no. Then Roman is happy. Paul's like,
I loved it. When LA, he's like, who is this guy? And Paul Heyman's like, he's like, oh, you don't know. Oh no. Paul Heyman sells it great. It's fantastic. But awesome. Roman's back, and he's the head of the table. He's the tribal chief. He makes sure everybody can eat well. So with Roman Reigns back, he was able to get Paul Heyman some Just for Men, and that's why Paul Heyman's hair is black once again. So that's all good as well. You can go ahead and name the other one. We won't get into it. But what was your other favorite?
Christian Cage's promo on Adam Copeland.
Okay, yeah, it was
where he basically at the end of it said, "Don't worry, I'll call Beth and the kids and make sure they have a good Christmas."
Christian kills it every single week, so we could literally talk about Christian every single week. So that's not a surprise.
So good. He's so good. Best heel in wrestling.
Who would have thought that this would have been the phase in his career where he was the best?
Dominic is the most hated man in wrestling. Christian's the best heel.
I'll agree to disagree. I will agree to disagree because I love me some Christian. I've always been a Christian guy over Edge since day one. Yeah, so I've been there since day one. I can proudly stand on that. So I'm not gonna do anything to poop all over Christian. Refuse to do it. But it is the
man's jacked and wrestles in a turtleneck. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. His turtlenecs are the most evil version of clothing that exists.
If only everybody knows Nick Gage wearing that turtleneck, man, that would be awesome. But now it is Jimmy Bay, the Drip King's time for the best of the week. And this is something I haven't said in a very, very, very long time. I've come close a few times. I've enjoyed some of it a few times. But this week, hands down, NXT was the greatest thing. Oh my God. I want them to run a show like that once a year. That can be their WrestleMania. Make it on a, I guess, hype it up a little bit more, not just the week of when you're trying to just be petty. Make it an event and move it into a bigger thing. That way, all the people that were waiting in line can actually get in. You could have easily filled probably 7,000-8,000 people with that show they gave us last week.
Easy.
From beginning to end, it was fun. Not the matches weren't blowing me away or anything. It was fun. At no point in time was I looking at my watch, seeing what time it was. I didn't even feel the need to switch over to Dynamite. That's how good, and I love Dynamite, everybody. They even had Orange Cassidy winning the title over there, and I didn't even get to watch it live because I was so invested in what NXT was doing. They had a great combination of promo, furthering storylines. The matches were all good. They incorporated the part-timer, or not the part-timers, but the people who aren't on NXT, the Codys, the Cenas, and all that. They incorporated them just enough to where they weren't stealing the spotlight away from the younger talent. Everything about NXT just flowed together so awesome. Even down to the Undertaker spot where everyone's like, why is he even there? Shut up. Shut up. Braun Breaker said he's the biggest badass there is. Undertaker says, I'm the American badass, son. And he come out there and choke slam the shit out of him. Thank you, Braun Breaker, for jumping through the roof. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome.
NXT was the most fun. Raw was great, and I was like, there's going to be hard to top that. And I completely forgot about Raw based on how great NXT was last week. I want that to be an annual thing, 100%. Tidey, you were raising your hands. What you got, bud?
I was going to ask you a question because I know Dijak, when Corbin looked at each other, weren't you being like, yes, Corbin on his pace right now to fight Dijak, who's been on a tear? Man, that is going to be a badass match.
Yes.
I mean, just that alone, like just that one spot was perfect. Everything was placed perfectly in that show.
Yes.
Dominic Dijak, it may very well be the perfect opponent for Baron Corbin.
Exactly. Yeah. I've been waiting for something like this.
What was it? And before NXT happened, the rumors were going out that Brian Pillman Jr. wasn't going to keep his name. It was Lexus King. And everyone was like, just like they did with Gunther, oh, this is going to be silly. This is going to be dumb. And then guess what? They said, here is a vignette that explains it perfectly. And it was like, this is great. With one vignette, I'm more invested in him than I ever was before.
So just because I didn't see the vignette, have they changed his name?
Yes. And he explains why. He literally explains why.
That surprises me because he's a legacy.
Yeah, but it goes with it, though. It's not like they just did it out of nowhere.
So please fill me in. Why have they changed his name? Because I watched Dynamite. I didn't watch NXT.
He doesn't want – he said he's going to be his own person. He
also said that – so he explained that his dad, everybody reveres his father for all the stuff that he's done, but he knew his dad for a very short period of time. And as far as he knows, the two strongest people in his life are the people that raised him. And the name is based off of those people. So, everybody has this attachment to Brian Pillman that he doesn't have because, yes, it's his father, but he didn't have any time, spending to grow up with him. So. Okay. And really, like, the promo was really well done. He killed it. It's honest to God, the best work he's done.
Yeah. Lexus is his sister's name, and then King was his mother's name. So he just combined the two to create Lexus King. And he still kind of has the look.
I was going to say he's not going with blonde, doesn't he? So
what's that?
No, but he's dyed his hair fully blonde, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has the black thing underneath. It looked a little wild at first, but when you're in the ring and he's wrestling, you ain't going to be able to see.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Simon's going to be furious.
Yeah, he leaves that legacy behind. It was great. It just goes to show NXT was phenomenal. I'm like, man, if they could deliver a show this entertaining, and it wasn't really even the names. It was just a really well put together show. I've been hearing people say Shawn Michaels is cooking. He's cooking, bro. It was just, there's no better meal on the planet than what he served on Tuesday. It was that fun, that great. And NXT was my favorite part of the week. I haven't said that shit since Black and Gold, I don't think.
He's been doing this for like the last year and a half, and I've been trying to convince you. Well, I would say at least the last year straight. And
I've tuned in a few times.
Was a different, like Courtney just said, it was all over the place for her and for me to an extent. But I still thought it was amazing because it felt more like a WWE show.
Yes, there you go.
But the way they did it was just right. But usually, I mean, you would have to, for someone to the pickup right now, I'm going to take my bags and start watching NXT. It's going to take them 3 to 4 weeks to kind of see what's going on with the characters or where things are at, or they're not going to know who the hell is who sometimes. So it makes sense that they did a WWE format and you jumped because they nailed it.
It worked perfectly. And I keep up with it, and I have watched it a few times. Every time you've said, I've given it a chance. Sometimes it's been a hit. Other times it's been a miss. It wasn't consistent enough for me to like fully invest in. But man, Tuesday was fun. It was one of the best shows, not even just TV shows. I'd put it up against a lot of the pay-per-views and PLEs from this month. That's how this year. That's how good I thought NXT was this past week. And I don't care what anybody wants to call me for that. Yep, PP Rider. No, I don't care. Say whatever you want. I loved it. It was fantastic. And please give me that once a year. Give me an NXT show like that once a year, because it's also for the fans that go to that thing every week. They wait in line. They're in that little building. Yeah. It's hot in that building. I promise you, I've been there a few times. It's hot. Give them that moment where they be like, yeah, this was fucking worth it. This was great. And that was my favorite part of the week.
Guys, we had a lot of people watching pro wrestling on a Tuesday night. That's the best part of the entire week.
Yeah. And again, Dynamite was good.
Yeah, it was.
Orange Cassidy, I was a little bit bummed out that they did the Mox thing the way they did it, because
Phoenix shouldn't have dropped him on his head, should he?
I will just say this. I won't go there because I could be a real mother right now. I won't. I'm just glad Orange Cassidy is back on track to where he was, because after he lost the title, he kind of was just floundering, doing nothing.
Yeah.
And his Wrestler of the Year status is now in question because of that shit. Now he's got the title again. He can get back to his claim and he can win that Wrestler of the Year like I think he should. But, and
really
Akira Shida won the AEW title. Yeah,
that was the third time.
Yeah. So from there, we will now go to Survivor Series. I want to touch on this real quick because my mind started just spiraling when I saw Kevin Owens come out on SmackDown. I already had it in my head. And Nick, I don't know if you've heard this from me yet, so this might shock you a little bit. We've only seen it, I think, one time in the history of War Games, which I fully expect to see happen at Survivor Series again, is War Games. A 3-man team. I think we're on a track to have a 3-man or 3-team War Games between Judgment Day, Team WWE, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and LA Knight against the Bloodline. Only problem is the Bloodline has 3 people. And I originally had thought Braun Breaker, because of the ties to Paul Heyman, this is the most perfect way to bring Braun Breaker in. Most perfect way to bring him in. Then I started thinking, what happened at the end of War Games last year? That was like the big thing.
Sami Zayn got turned on. Sami Zayn beat up Kevin Owens.
Turned on Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
We're 1 year later. And Kevin Owens is going to be pissed that he is now on SmackDown because Cody Rhodes made it happen for Jey Uso, the guy he hates, the guy that Sami Zayn loves. How does he get back at those guys? He joins Roman Reigns in War Games and the Bloodline to take on Team WWE and Judgment Day. I don't know if that's my idea. You're free to go crazy with your own.
That's fine. I had a different thought. How many members are in Judgment Day?
There's 4, kind of 5.
There's not including JD Madonna.
There's 4.
There's 4. Well, Rhea's one of those. And if Rhea's in this match, that means you need a girl on the other team.
I don't think they'll do girls in it.
Well, if they do, there's one obvious choice.
Yeah, Nia. Yeah.
Nope.
Don't say. No, she is not ready for that. You know that.
Is that Ava? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was happy that Heyman was talking to her. Heyman was talking to her. So
dump it in at the deep end. She can come in first with Rhea. Rhea can annihilate her for 5 minutes, and then somebody can save her at the end. But I tend to agree with you. I think it's going to be JD Madonna and Judgment Day as a team, because I don't think they're going to. Unfortunately, the rumor is that there's only going to be one War Games match this year.
I'm fine with that.
Which means no women's War Games, which is
there's no
unfortunate.
reason for it.
There's no storyline.
Right. There's no story that facilitates it. So let's not force it in. I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
If they did this with Hell in a Cell, I don't want them to do it with War Games.
I agree.
When it makes sense.
They don't need to do a women's War Games this year. As you say, Albert, there's no storyline there in place. Yeah. So they'd have to rush something, slam something together, and it wouldn't really fit. However, I will detract from your 3-team idea a little bit, Jim. It's been done once.
Yeah, in WCW.
Yeah. And it was the worst War Games match of all time.
To be fair, WCW wasn't really cooking then either. So
No. But you could never knock the in-ring product in WCW except when the Ultimate Warrior was involved.
That was abysmal.
Yeah, that was
the only thing I remember from that match was Roddy Piper just hitting everybody.
Yeah, Roddy kicking people in the dick.
Hitting his own teammates. He's like, DDP,
yes,
get it too, buddy.
He kicked DDP in the dick.
I loved it.
Yes, he did.
I loved it.
I booted him right between the uprights 5 minutes in. It was awesome. But that was a terrible match.
Also, does anybody remember the build to that? Because the build was absolute trash too. Piper got beat up by 15 random people, and then picked them on his team, and then abandoned them the next week.
Yeah,
that's why I'm not gonna go ahead and be like, you can't do it because WCW tried and it failed.
No.
Because
the reason that I think they will struggle with it is WWE do something badly, and they've always done it badly, with the exception of the main event of WrestleMania 20. Triple threats.
You crazy?
No, I'm not. The triple threat match is the hardest match to pull off in professional wrestling because somebody always has to be doing nothing.
Okay,
when you turn a war game, when you turn a War Games match into a triple threat, especially for the first 3, somebody has to be doing nothing. In my opinion, it's just my opinion, the only triple threat that WWE ever pulled off was Benoit versus Michaels versus Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania 20. It is an absolute masterclass because it was booked exactly like an ECW 3-way dance.
Two counterpoints to what you just said. One, I won't disagree with their 3-way thing. I'll let you have it. But what is WWE really good at? 6-man tags. And
True.
That's a lot of people. With this, you're going to have a lot of people. And you're going to have 2 heel teams who have already shook hands and been like, hey, let's work together. So you can literally don't have to have someone not doing anything. You could have Judgment Day and Bloodline kind of working together on Team WWE until someone kind of just...
To be fair, I would like to see the interaction between Paul and Rhea on the outside of the cage.
So I'm just saying, it is very possible. I think they could pull it off just based on the fact that Bloodline and Judgment Day have already kind of agreed. They've done the handshake. They're like, yeah, let's work together.
Well,
and then,
I hate to throw more piss on your bonfire, but you can take Sami Zayn off that team.
No, he's not. Don't even say it.
Sammy's injured, mate.
What?
Not that injured.
No, he's out for at least 6 weeks.
Survivor Series is at the end of November.
At least 6 weeks.
He'll be back for Survivor Series.
And realistically, there's one person you should be putting on that team who's only going to be here until just after Survivor Series. Cena.
Well, and another thing I'll say is if it's not Cena, this is why it works, because you could put Cena in there. You could put AJ Styles in there.
Yeah.
And if Braun Breaker is the 4th one, you could literally just have John Cena be like, and here's Carmelo Hayes. And now you've introduced 2 NXT guys in the most perfect way. They've already done a War Games match, and they were awesome in it. And everything delivers.
What if they do an 8-man War Games?
No.
8 people aside. You give it an hour. You have the Bloodline and Judgment Day as a unified force against the 8 top baby faces in the company.
I was thinking the same thing. As weird as that sounds, I was thinking the same thing at a point.
12 people was kind of pushing it. 16 people in 2 rings is wild.
Yeah, but it's good.
Also, one more counterpoint I wanted to make is my whole problem with Anarchy in the Arena. Everyone loves it, and I'm like, I don't get it because it's so hard to follow because it's anarchy. It's literally everywhere. With War Games, it's controlled anarchy, so you can do these big multi-man matches, and you don't have to wonder what's happening.
I do agree with the controlled anarchy purpose because I was live for Wembley, and the Stadium Stampede was so hard to watch. I
don't want to hate on it. I'm just saying it's hard to keep up with it, and you miss certain things. I remember there was a part where Sami Guevara had done something in the back, and I'm like, what did he just do? What did he just do? That looks way crazier than what they were showing us.
It's like when Penta did the Destroyer off the ladder with Mike Santana, and everybody missed it.
So, what up, noob? Good to see you, bud. Good to see you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Go ahead, Tidey.
If we're gonna do one War Games and try to make it last longer, I just don't see that happen. And there's got to be a women's War Games. There cannot not be a women's War Games. There's got to be.
But who would you put in it? If you can give me an answer right now, I'll listen.
I don't storybook for shit. But
that's my thing is
damn it.
there's nothing that warrants it, and that's my thing. The reason the Hell in a Cell matches became so watered down and shit is because they literally were just forcing people in it, and it didn't make sense. It's like, why is Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match? Oh, because Jeff Hardy's going to do something crazy, and that's literally it. Yeah, it's designed for blood feuds.
It's Survivor Series / War Games, though, right? I mean, it's still the pride of Raw versus SmackDown.
Not because War Games is new to the main roster. So if we're gonna bring it up, it was brought up because there was a big time team battle going on, and it was like, for the only way for this to really kind of these guys to get out what they need to get out is let's put them in this cage together, let it unfold. And this year you kind of have it going again with the women. You don't have it this year. And I don't want to force it because that's when things just start to just
that was my question. If it was possible the women couldn't and you can't see a way, then yeah, that does make sense. They can still make it the big finish of the night.
I'm not against it at all because the NXT, I don't remember what year it was, but the NXT women had one. It's in my top 3 of all time. It was great. I just don't want you to do it for the sake of doing it. I want it to be because there's a reason to have a War Games match with them.
If you look at the women's division right now, there's 3 central storylines. There's Rhea versus everyone on Raw, trying to assert her dominance over the.
We could do Rhea versus 7 in War Games, and she could kill them all. That'd be
awesome.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. But you have Rhea versus everyone on Raw. You have Charlotte versus Jade by the looks of it, and then you have the saga of Damage Control. And just so you know, Tidey, at the moment, the pre-book plan by Triple H is for a Damage Control triple threat for the title at Mania. So Bayley may be getting her moment this year.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I really want that to happen. Also, Jim, while we are here, and before I forget, because I was requested to ask you this by the lads, have you got I know you got your Rumble ticket sorted. Have you got Mania? Because we're booking ours at the moment.
Man, I'm happy for you. If I'm gonna keep my eye out on it. Albert's
I'll
going.
be there night 1.
Awesome.
I'm gonna keep my eye out for it. But every time I look, those ticket prices are stupid because the plan this year is to take all 4 of us.
Okay.
And it was like, wow. I went completely crazy on the Royal Rumble tickets because it doesn't look like WrestleMania is gonna happen. But there's 2 trips within that trip that we could make. So I want to do it if it makes sense, but I also don't want to overspend on some tickets because I just did it for Royal Rumble. I completely overspent.
Well, we were looking at the prices today, and it is quite high. And we were saying if they announce The Rock, those ticket prices are just going to go up.
Yeah. So like if it was like 2 people, I was like, yeah, I could do that. But as 4 of us, it's like, man, I don't know about dropping almost $3,000 on some tickets that are top tier. That doesn't sound right to me.
Well, we were looking today, and it's going to cost about $5 for decent seats.
So that's my hang up. I'm gonna look closer to the thing to see if there's some cheap ones that pop up because they're just trying to get rid of them. But I know it's not looking good. I'll say that. But if it can happen, it will happen for sure.
I would like to remind you, James, that last year you said this exact same thing to me, and then I got wasted with you in LA.
So here's the thing with that. Shout out to my girl because Amanda is the greatest thing ever all time. That was all her. That was all her. It was supposed to be a birthday surprise and everything, and then it ended up getting ruined because my son had a trip at the same time, so we had to figure things out.
Amanda, I know you're watching. You know what you need to do.
Yeah. I will watch it, and if I make it happen, I'll make it happen because I want to go over to Scranton. I want to take them up to my old hometown. There's reasons for it. It make it a really awesome trip.
Because you're a New York boy, aren't you?
Yeah. So
what, 45-minute drive from Philly?
Albert's going, so it's like, man, I want to go meet Albert. I got a few other people that are going. I could go meet them for the first time.
Wow.
So it was like
me, Sai, and Andy are all going this year again.
And I had a blast with y'all, so I want to do it.
Dale's going as well.
Was that?
Dale's going as well.
So, man, Dale.
And it's funny because remember, we were all sitting here at one point, and you guys were the ones telling me, Albert, you need to be making sure you get your tickets to WrestleMania.
Look at this. She is. I wasn't expecting tickets to be that stupid. Bro.
Amanda knows. Amanda knows.
I was not expecting the tickets.
She's got a good head on her shoulders.
It's WrestleMania 40, Jim. 40. It's the 39th anniversary of Mania. This is going to be the last time you ever see Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock.
Quick, just to point this out. just to point out like how much I spent on Royal Rumble tickets. Did you hear what I just said? I would have to spend on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I just spent that on Royal Rumble. So it's like,
okay.
Please, oh please. Again, if I can make it happen, I'm going. I want to meet all my boys. I want to go watch WrestleMania 4. It's gonna be fantastic. But with that, we're spiraling. I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut it. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, Nick. If I can make it happen, I will. But with that said, it's time to say our goodbyes. Tidey, you're up first. Anything you want to say before we hit the deuces?
I may be working a lot more lately, so I'm gonna try to be on the show on Sundays. My job has got extremely more complicated and way more things to do, so I'm gonna try. I'll still be on the Twitter machine because I refuse to call it. I'm not calling it X either, to just stay in communication in general. But I usually just talk to you guys, honestly. But yeah, I'll try to be back as much as possible. It's like a 50-50 every week if I'm lucky. Most time it's going to be really hard to come in on Sundays, but I will try. If not, I'll be back by February 1st. Unfortunately, I have a 3-month job ahead of me that's going to be killer.
So it's a treat when Tidey's here. It'll be an even bigger treat when Tidey's here now. I'll look forward to the time he's here. I hate it for him, but I understand how life goes and all of that. And man, I just hope it's not too stressful for you, bud. That's all I hope for, honestly. I just hope it's not too stressful for you. Albert, what about you? What is up? Anything you want to say before we head out?
So as always, I'll plug my. You're just so quick with it. You get reading my mind.
Good at the producing thing.
So of course I had to plug my channel. So it's the Slam Sessions. I have uploaded a toy renovation video for the past like 4 months now, almost every week, which is a record for me. But this week there's snazzy new graphics and there's new title slides and all this good kind of stuff. So come check it out. Tell me how good I edit, because I want to. I'm trying to get a little bit better with it. So it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, join me over there whenever you got a chance. I'm also going to try to do a live stream one day. If not this week, maybe next week. I have someone who's been asking me to talk about I don't know if you guys were wrestling figure fans in the back in the day, but we had our own little figure federations, all the little storylines we booked and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to do a live stream just completely talking about that and some funny fig fed stories for everybody.
Okay. Also, Wrestle Buddy this week. You got something going on with Wrestle Buddy?
Oh, I do. On Friday, we're going to talk about how we can book AEW a little bit better than what AEW has been doing over the past couple of weeks. We've seen that a lot of people have been complaining about AEW has maybe lost its touch from the first couple of years. And we're going to try to figure out how we can get that back for them.
That's easy. Tell Tony Khan to stop sniffing cocaine.
We're not allowed to make those jokes. It's completely insensitive. And with that said, Nick, it is your turn. Let them know where they can find you and anything else you want to plug. Now is your chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find myself, Andy, and Sai on the Wrestling Legion YouTube channel every Sunday.
Ace individuals.
We have been away for a couple of weeks because one of our compatriots has been in Japan and the other one broke his laptop. So it's just been me for the last couple of weeks, so I have not put a video out. Of course, you can find me on Wednesday, yet again on the Wrestling Legion YouTube channel for episode 1 of Wrestling With Your Thoughts, Fantasy Booking Warfare. It's going to be at 10:30 p.m. UK time. Jimmy is returning for me, which I'm ecstatic about, and the captain, which I'm also very happy about, is coming in. This is going to be an amazing show. It's going to be phenomenal booking. These two were the best I had for season 1 over on Wrestle Buddy. So to get them back for season 2, for it to be my own vision and my own name, I can't wait. So come check us out on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. UK time. It's going to be awesome.
And like he's just said, you'll find me on Wednesday, Wrestling With Your Thoughts, booking, fantasy, storylines, all that good jazz. I won it in the first season right here. The Wrestle Buddy Wars champion. That means this right here means I am the greatest fantasy booker in the history of the Twitterverse in this little universe that we have going on. Also, don't think he's not going to make an appearance. He's coming. I'm just too excited about it. This right here, this is what I'm about, baby. This is what I do, baby. I'm the king of this shit. I'm not some shipless captain. I'm a king with a crown. I got the stuff to back up my claims. The shipless captain does not. He don't even live near the water. He don't even have a boat. Call himself the captain. He ain't no captain. Captain Hoo-Ha Diddly Squat.
Jimmy, save it for the show.
Oh, I got plenty more. Plenty more.
He's just got one belt.
I'm not saying I'm gonna.
I can't wait.
Pebbles on it.
I'm not saying. Here we go. Let me
I cannot wait for this. You have no idea how much of a treat this show is going to be. This man is hilarious when he's on form. The captain is the sternest human being I've ever met as far as senses of humor goes. He's very old school versus very new school. This is going to be something special. And this time, there's no bloody quiz to ruin it.
Yeah.
And one more thing. The captain has a podcast on Tuesday. It's the day before. I'm not saying I'm going to bombard it in the comments, but I might. So if you want to see a shit show there, hop on over Tuesday. I think it's 5:30 Central Time. I don't know my schedule at the time being, but if I'm free, I might be there in the comments. Just Twitter fingers. You know, you guys got them. I got them too from time to time. I'm going to make their show more exciting for y'all to enjoy on top of Wednesday. So
just before
don't miss
we go,
that.
Albert, Tidey, would you have any interest in doing the show?
I'd love to.
Right, well, you're invited. Just tell me when.
I can't do booking, man. My brain don't work that way.
He likes enjoying it. That's Tidey. He's just enjoying it.
Well,
I'll also
Albert,
say this.
If you want to do the show, you're more than welcome, mate.
I'd absolutely love to. We'll definitely talk, and we'll do it one week. Absolutely.
Awesome.
I've been waiting for a worthy challenger, and when I win again on Wrestling with Your Thoughts this Wednesday over at the Wrestling Legion channel, I'll take on any and all comers that want to try me. I've been waiting a year for this dude to shut his mouth and quit his complaining, and when I'm done with him, I'm moving on to bigger and better things. Hopefully he don't take a 6-month vacation this time. Hopefully he don't take an 8-month vacation this time because it's too much for him to handle. I will crush his dreams. I hope it doesn't crush his dreams to the point where he can't do his podcast anymore, but that's for another day. That's for another time. What y'all need to know is tune in Wednesday. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. And if you think you can handle the Drip King and some fantasy booking, bring your ass, message Nick, and he'll make it happen. I'll crush your dreams too.
You can either message me at Wrestling WYT Nick on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, or you can find me at the Wrestling Legion YouTube channel. No G.
Right there. If you think you have what it takes to take me on, hit him up right there. I'll crush your dreams too. With that said, I will see you all on Wednesday. Maybe we'll be able to talk in the chat at Raw Ball on Tuesday, and then we'll be back right here next Sunday, and we might have a special guest next Sunday as well, so stay tuned for that. With that said, see you all later. Cap, you're a dead man to me, and I'm going to make sure you know it come Tuesday. That man, get that Kenny